Whole lot of truth, no financial advice. Do you think time would pass and I would just forget shit? You think I would just sidestep it? I had some dude last night while I was out getting my fitness, I was out getting my groove back. I'm out here hearing some bullshit about guys about their position. We're going to speak on it, Tony D. I'll never let you get away with this shit. The whole world might. Everybody might sidestep stuff, let stuff go. But that's not the way I roll. That's not the way we do it here. Welcome back. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, whole lot of truth, no financial advice. We're going to start the show in a little bit. But I got some shit to get off my chest. So let me say it with my chest. Okay? I have buy orders for GameStop shares for over 5 years. 5 years. So don't tell me that I just started posting my position or I just started talking about getting into it. Now, I've been about this shit since day one. When you were out there pushing AMC and Adam Aron's wishes as he was giving away shares to his children and you were doing meet and greets at the theater, I was telling you it's all bogus and bullshit. And what do you know? They lost $600 million this year. Well, we're making $600 million, but I'll leave it alone. Can't compare the two. It's night and day, just like the show. Hi, by the way, Marantz Rantz, best show on YouTube. #1 show for finance on YouTube. Self-proclaimed. Really? Really? I don't know. Got a lot of views. We're at 7 million views, kids. We're approaching 1 million hours viewed. Holy shit. YouTube sent me a message on that. You're about to hit 1 million hours, whatever. I said, really? The word of the day is 1 million. So many shares Ryan Cohen bought for GameStop. I mean, but we got Dr. Michael Burry saying GameStop's going to be a great stock for 51 years. Everything. That's where we're at. Anyway, I was out here and I was reading some headlines. I don't know if you guys read the headlines I read, but before we get into the headlines you think I want to talk about, let's talk about the big bad wolf, the shit that you got to read between the lines, the stuff nobody wants you to know about. We're talking about private equity. You guys keep sidestepping this shit and I won't do it because I'm going to prove it to you. Because not only is GameStop highly successful tonight, I don't know if you guys heard the great news. I don't know if you guys heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be. We're not talking to you, short sellers. We're talking to each other right now. Hey, yo, Elmo, did you hear about this shit? Hey, Stacks, did you hear about this? Kyoto, I know you're in Japan. Are you awake? Listen, Ryan Cohen, the pimp in the box. Ryan Cohen came out and said he is about to make a very big, very, 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 very big acquisition. He's about to turn GameStop from $10 billion to $100 billion overnight. I know you don't believe it, but it's one of those things in life. Just take this lesson for life. I don't know if you guys ever write down the life lessons. You're like, hold on, I want to be a man. Okay, good. Then I won't go to brunch. Yep. I won't know zodiac signs. Can't do that one either. And the last part, I won't wear Crocs and the little symbols that go on them. Cool. Those are all man moves. I can't have you be a man around me and not understand what's happening right now. Are you paying attention? We're going to find out right now. So Ryan Cohen, chairman of the board, CEO, GameStop. Dude has done exactly 5 interviews in his lifetime. Oh, I've got him here. 5 in his lifetime. He doesn't do interviews. But this week, 3. 2 on print, 1 in person. Doesn't matter. This guy's everywhere. He's everywhere you want to be. His name is Visa. Right where you want to be. Ryan Visa Cohen. That's his new name. I'm giving it to him. Right where you want to be. Let me tell you. And that was a slogan for Visa back in 2000s, if you don't remember. You should be so excited. You should be so excited. You should be waiting because I'll tell you what, you watch the boring YouTubers. Hey, I want to give a shout right now to Corey. You guys know Corey. He's a GameStop guy. Got like 200 views on his video. Corey, oh, he's so bullish about GameStop. He was so excited today. Except I missed the, Corey, you got to do what they won't do. Okay? I want to teach you how to be a great YouTuber, okay? You got to talk like you got a pair. You got to be there. You got to be authentic. You got to be in it. You got to be you. Damn it. So afraid to be yourself. Oh, this sounds pretty cool. Have you seen, you know why I played System of a Down? Are you kidding? Who is going to play this music? You ever heard the words on that? They're trying to build a prison for you and me to live in. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But guess what? They didn't know that you were an educated investor. I told you a couple things were going to happen on this market, and it's going to spring GameStop to the next level. One would be the pumps are going to get sold off. So what happened to tech stocks? Sold off. What happened to gold? Sold off. Are you kidding? Gold is the most finite asset in the world. It's God's money. Gold is there and it never moves. And here it goes, moving 10% in a day. The largest drop in gold in the history since the dot-com all the way through to '08 financial crisis. Today was the day. It was Armageddon. You mean to tell me we took $2 trillion of market cap off the books today and nobody said shit? Nobody was like, yo, who's getting fired off this? What banks ain't clearing today? Who's not going to be able to settle? I'm just a common sense investor. That's all I am. I'm from the trailer park, y'all. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know what 28% on silver means, but it was down 28% today on the entered low. What the hell does that mean there, Marantz? Let me tell you what it means. There's some bullion banks. There's some real banks. There's some COMEX banks. And then you go ahead and look at everything that happens overseas. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. Right now, the true transition of the dollar is happening. The true guidance of it. You had the best day in the dollar's life today because you're going to say, oh, it's because they named a new chair of the Fed, a potential. You guys know who that is? I don't care who they put at the Fed. Do you know who he's married to? Kevin Warsh. I don't know if you guys know. And I said Warsh, not Wash. Okay? I know all you people from like Washington, that shit kills me. There's no R in the word. But Warsh, Kevin Warsh, let me tell you about him, okay? He's 55 years old. He's a damn male model compared to the other Fed presidents. And Trump picks him. And it's okay because you know who his wife is? Jane Lauder. Do you know who Jane Lauder is? Yeah, the great-granddaughter. The granddaughter of the Estee Lauder crew. These guys are built into that community of private equity, but yet it's already there. If you don't know that wives run the show, then I'll show you Barack Nobody. I'll show you what's been happening with your boy Biden, and then Trumpy baby. I don't know. Maybe he gets. Maybe Melania doesn't say anything. Maybe that man's a man's man. But me, I'm run by my wife. I'm like every other man up in this bitch. I already told you I got the the weight loss program down. Just walk in, cuss her out. She won't eat for weeks. Oh, lost all that weight. Don't tell me how I did it, fellas. Don't do it. Anyway, back to the story. I'm sorry, I get thrown off. Oh man. You saw people get named today and nominated. Doesn't mean that they got appointed. There's a big difference there. But in addition to that, you have Trump's being announced or tariffs being announced. You have a Fed that remains stagnant. What did the Fed do? They didn't lower rates or raise rates. They just kept them flat. Does that do anything for you as a consumer? When you have, I'm going to go over all of this with, Carter's Corner Pocket. I don't know if you guys know who he is. Carter's Corner Pocket is a YouTuber that goes over macroeconomic announcements and or the way he looks at it. Well, Carter couldn't go live today. Carter hit me up, says, Marantz, can you please go over these notes? I said, sure, I'll go over them for you, Carter. I'm your boy, babe. So we're going to go over it. Carter made a whole presentation. I'm going to do it for you. That's what we're going to do. But before I wash my hands with all of this nonsense, I want to tell you how bad it is. You have a sell-off of the whole market today on a Friday. And I told you guys the one thing, I said this at the beginning of the week, in case you forgot it. The one thing you don't want to happen is GameStop to go up into the weekend. You don't want it running on a Friday night. But this was planted. This article that was planted by Ryan Cohen, CNBC, and the Wall Street Journal. There's two different articles here. They were planted and they were put out on time. You saw GameStop's director of communications post, and what did she post? She put, buckle up. Oh yeah, guys, this is it. I've never been more bullish in my life. I'm going to tell you why I'm so bullish. There's so many catalysts that are in front of you, you wouldn't know what to do. I might as well be a herder of sheep and the cattle themselves, because the catalysts that are here for GameStop, you can't ignore it. You can't drown out this noise. You short sellers, you bitches are on notice. You know what it is. And don't worry, I've got energy for AMC. I got energy for BBBYQ. I got energy for BBBY. I got energy for everybody tonight. Because I was right there just steaming. I was fuming. I was doing all the above. But when I start the show, you'll know and we'll get all the info and we'll get it going. But until then, I'm still telling a story. So I've never seen Ryan Cohen. What I inhale? Hold on. Somebody wants to say something to me. Hold on. I got to read the. Oh, by the way, Donko, my old school homie, bought 20 free memberships and 20 free memberships. He bought 40 memberships for this show. Give Donko a shout out. Donko's been with me for 5 years. Donko, can you believe it's been 5 years, babe? 5 years in May, dude. That's like 3 months away. 5 years, bro. And guess what? The Cowboys still ain't done shit, neither have the Giants. Anyway, so this guy inhaled many cracks before the show. Sorry, didn't want to throw your train of thought off. I just love the energy, Marantz. That was coming from a gentleman named Houston Wade's prison mate. You know, I got to ask you guys to stop trivializing that whole event with Houston Wade and bringing it to light with names and funniness, and even in the comments of the Discord. Guys, I don't deal with innuendo well. I don't deal with that nonsense when it comes to children. It's never going to be okay with me. So please, I'm not trying to be his cellmate. I'm not trying to make fun of the guy or anything. That man has a sickness, and it needs to be cured. And I don't think it can be. I don't believe there's rehabilitation for that. But I don't want to trounce on a man when he's trying to do it. I'm not that guy. Those are bullies. Those are hive minds where they all get together. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys something. They're still human. I still have a heart, compassion, because that's what I'm led to believe with my faith. Okay? So I'm just telling you. Yeah, I wish they would castrate them. Yes, I wish they would do a lot of things to child abusers or potential child abusers. I wish a lot of things happened to them. But I don't want to make this a feeding ground for that. That's all I want to tell you. So pray for the man. Pray for his family. And for the victims that are not there. Just know this was the first time he got caught. Not the first time he ever did it. Okay? Now, he needs Jesus, and I don't know. You know what? I will tell you, God and Jesus can help, but there's a small chance that I'm gonna care. Okay, I just don't need that here. There you go. But I'm back on my train of thought. Now, GameStop. Let's talk about this. I had somebody ask me today. They said, Marantz, what makes you think GameStop's going to do everything that these guys are saying in these chats and these? I don't understand it. They sell video games. I don't understand it. They're going digital. It's not physical. What the hell are you talking about Pokemon cards? Okay, let me tell you something, okay? From a Pokemon perspective, which I've never shied away from this. This is the part that pissed me off as I was driving. I was going crazy, man. I'm telling you, I almost just ran over the whole road. It's not a bad thing. Anyway, so check this out. For the last 4 years, 5 years, I've always said I'm invested with GameStop and I believe in the company and the leadership. I've always said this. You guys can never take a video from me that I didn't say this, where I said I'm invested because of the leadership. Larry Chang tweeted tonight and he said, they talk about us like we talk about them. That was a phenomenal tweet, by the way, Larry Chang. Probably the greatest tweet you've ever done. Because I'm still mad at you for some other stuff. But for 5 years, I've always said it's the leadership. Today in this article, we're going to go over the article, Ryan Cohen, he basically said, if my guys are involved and we give you this blueprint on how to run your company, you're going to become profitable and we're going to reap these benefits. It's so easy to be a winner in the world of retail, in the world of investing, and in the world of doing business. People don't know this. See, people are from the idea of you're going to fail, it's hard, it's this, it's that. It's not. It's not, because someone already did all the hard work to get you here, to be a publicly traded company, to get you X amount of customers. The hardest part is keeping private equity out of it, because private equity thrives and survives when they extend and pretend. They get to extend maturity dates. I'll give you a great example of this. AMC, pay attention. You are going to see, and I've already explained this whole playbook. There's a damn book you can buy. It's in the link in the description of the videos. It's called Connect the Dots. Go ahead and read it. I spell it out for you. Vulture capitalism, leverage buyouts, leveraging companies into zones they don't want to be in via covenants, heavy loans, proxy battles, share buybacks when you have no cash, just overextending yourself, doing the wrong thing when everyone's watching. So many companies are doing this, and you know it based off of their board of directors and the origin of them. If you know where they came from, then you know if they're there for you to succeed or not. Ryan can win. Ryan and his crew they're going to win because they did it with Chewy.com. They did it with GameStop, and they're going to do it with the next one. They're already doing it with PSA. And you know why and how I know this, guys? Not only because God talks to me and I'm a cult leader, not only because I'm in a cult and this is what I do for a living. No, not those trivial points. No. It's going to be this. It's easy to win because you have a low-hanging fruit. You have a poor model to go up against. What is the competition? What is the scale? Who are your real enemies? I mean, come on. It would be the equivalent of me being who I am, and I walk into the world of, I don't know, Vermont, and I go, hey, I'm an all-state football player in the state of California. Do you know what I'm going to look like in Vermont? I'm going to look like Herschel Walker in his prime. That's the point. Big fish, little pond. It's so easy to win in this world. You know why? Because there's 7 companies that are winning in America, and the rest are all bullshitting. 493 are all bullshitting. They're doing the wrong thing at every turn, and you can name them, and I can point it out why. I know what overextension is. I know what overexpanding is. And when you see it plain as day. You go, oh, my God, what are they doing? Why do they keep opening up new stores? Where's the leadership? Because people don't think about cyclical change. I'm going to use Costco as an example tonight, and you guys can agree to disagree. But they are expanding at a rate that they can't keep up with. I know it. They don't have the leadership. They've been in business for 40 years. That means everyone that's running the company is retiring with this stock price that makes them multimillionaires or billionaires. Everyone, janitors, front door people, cashiers, everybody's gone. All the leaders, how are you going to replace them? And when your footprint's that big, it gets worse. The culture changes. The narratives change. You're now a number. You're just a cog in the wheel. That's what happens. Right now, you're not getting that at GameStop. You're 2 years in, babe. You're at the ground level. I'm giving you the example for a reason. Ryan is going to walk this shit up the mountain. And if you don't want to go with them, then don't. But I've seen the cycles of other companies. There's only one Ray Kroc, guys. There's only one Steve Jobs. There's only one Tim Cook. There's only one Warren Buffett. There's only one Ryan Cohen. And the greatest thing about being a leader in business, I don't care if you're running your own mom and pop shop or if you're running a franchise or if you're running a corporation. The number one thing you want to do in business, guys, is duplicate yourself. That's what you want to do. You are going to be judged on how many times you can duplicate yourself. Can I mirror what I do daily? Can I teach? Can I get somebody to buy in? Can they do what I'm asking? Because it's not about what you ask them to do. It's how you ask them to do it. That's where it comes out real. This is why GameStop's so successful. Ryan's not walking around pounding his chest. I'm the boss. Now you listen. He wrote a letter to every single employee, and he said, treat the business like your own, and we will thrive. We will survive. He paid out all of his store directors with GameStop shares at the equivalent of $28 a share. Some of you look at that and go, wait a minute. No, this is all capital. This is all margin. This is all how you create buy-in, retention, cultural shifts. Now he comes out, full battle rattled. Never seen him do an interview in his life, and he starts doing it now. Why now, guys? He did his final buy-in for $20 million. Not his final, but he did a big enough buy-in to get your attention, Wall Street. Additionally, he started doing interviews. You got Michael Burry comes in out of nowhere, says, hey, it's GameStop, babe, and I'm all in, and I'm here for 50 years, 51. Now you have an earnings report coming. And that earnings report is going to show GameStop going from $6 million of profit 2 years ago to now $600 million. I'm at 500, 600 unadjusted. Doesn't matter. We can talk power packs. We can talk all of this. We're not talking about the big bad wolf. The biggest acquisition in the history of history for retail. The one where Ryan Cohen says is going to be worth hundreds of billions. Do the math for a second, guys. To get to 100 billion, you 10x where you're at today. So you take a stock and it's worth $23, it's going to be worth $230, $240. 10x today. That is 100 billion. He said multiple. He said several. Several is 3 to 7. So if I'm going to go 300 billion, I'm just going to do it for you. Now we're at a $700, $800 stock. That's where we're headed, guys. We're at a $720 stock via Ryan's words. And he's never dangled the carrot this high. He's never said, this is where we're going, this is what it is. He did it now. So if we're going to 600, if we're going to $700 million, billion dollars, I apologize, billion with a B, AKA with an S at the end. $600 billion, how much would you have? Well, me, I have a little bit. What do I have here? I actually have more shares than that. I have 79. So I'm 21 short of 2,500. So I got over 60-something thousand, right? But if you did it, I got like 59,000. I got it up on the screen somewhere. It'll come up in a minute. But so I take 60,000 and I multiply it by 30. 30x is minimum. You mean I'm going to have 1.8 million? I'm going to have almost $2 million. Because I believe in Ryan and I believe in what he's saying. All I have to do is be patient and not lose my shit every time a headline comes out, every time I get pumped up. This is the greatest time to be alive. This is the greatest time to be an investor. If you've ever believed in anything, why not GameStop? That's all I'm telling you. If we come to the reasonable conclusion that Ryan Cohen is not a moron, if the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, then you gotta believe. I do. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Let's start the show, millionaires.
Welcome to Marantz Rantz, no advice on finance. Spin the wheel and take a chance. Get an NFT and a little education. The system got undertold, that knowledge is flotation. You wanna learn? Well, you came to right place. You're pumping AMC, might get slapped in the face. Get your due diligence, know who the villain is. Don't be a sheep when the shepherd's carnivorous. So come learn, laugh, and maybe you win big. And listen up, y'all, the wheel is not rigged. Everybody get a chance in the live chat. Kyoto spin wheel, you win just like that. Retail fight back and this retail winning. Y'all just wait, man, this is just the beginning. All fellow simians, GME group singing the truth. We just chillin', infinity pool swimming. So welcome to Marantz Rantz. A lot of knowledge but no advice on finance. Don't even need pants, you can tune in naked like Kenny the Mayo Man. Internet's most hated. Don't wanna lose your money, then it's time for you to listen. If you're ignorant, invest in AMC, a superstition. The stream about ready, they told us to don't dance. I do what I want. Welcome to Marantz Rantz. 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 Welcome to Marantz Rantz.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Marantz.
Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. When I do say I'll see you around, millionaires, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because yes, there will be a day when you log on and I log off. And you might never see me again, but I'm going to say it to you one final time. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. I'm going to see you around, millionaires, and it's going to tear your heart apart. You're going to cry just like I can cry right now on cue. Why? Why am I so passionate about this investment where others have frowned upon and or call it a trade or say you can't be so committed or you have to, one of these things you have to go ahead and be diverse on your portfolio. You have to invest into other things. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. Bullshit. Let me tell you guys something. When you're invested and you're educated and you understand it more than most and you see every angle of it and you have God with you, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop me? You guys can print it up any way you want. You can type it up any way you want. Let's show you what God does. Let's go. First, let's look at this chart. This chart was actually drawn out this morning. If you guys are looking at the hashtags here, this was in the Discord. I actually drew this. I drew this earlier to show a trend line from the bottom. I found all the levels of support, and I said, here, breakout is happening. And guess what happened in the after hours? The breakout that I drew. I put this in the Discord. People saw it today, without a doubt, because I can show you what I drew and why. I drew this because I had support from back here in the early morning, in the pre-market. I found that level of support headed up, But remember what I tell you about this. Higher lows, lower highs. Okay? In any investment, I don't care which one you want to do. This is mathematics. The idea that it can't go as high as it did before, diminishing returns. At the end of a line of diminishing returns is capitulation. It's where mathematics wins out. Price discovery happens, the flood comes in, and we take off because more people are buying in at these levels and they're refusing to sell. So throughout the day, this exercise actually worked. This is true movement of a stock, is what you saw on GameStop today. Now, the true movement had a breakout because of articles that were printed, but this is a retest of our previous resistance at 25. When I go to the 30-minute, you're going to see this right here, the retest of 25. We now have 2 times that we touched. Going into the weekend, up to expiry date, by us ending at 23.88, that left us in a separate corridor. We didn't get to 24. We didn't get to 25. They do it after hours so that the options expire out of the money, anything over $24. Now, as I look at it totally, we've ran up. Somebody asked me today in some of the comments, says, Marantz, why can't GameStop hold value? Well, it's held value. It's held value this whole week. If you didn't see it last week, it was at $20.51, and now we're at $24.84 as I'm talking to you now. So absolutely holding its value, but I want to show it to you on the daily because there's this level of resistance on this chart that we are now above. We're above the purple. We held the purple, and we're above the purple. That purple is going to act as our support as we go on down this route. As we go and push out to the right, because we're at the end of our apex here on this bullish pennant, we're already there. This is the breakout. You get this earlier breakout position, but you can still ride it all the way to the next level. Now, how have I seen this before? Saw it down here. On this breakout right here, we went into it over the weekend. We drove up, had a finish strong week, boom, and we started running 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row. Do we have that same momentum going now? We could technically run it out, go a couple of weeks, test the top if you'd like to, but I'm waiting for earnings. After earnings and after no announcements of, a catalyst of what could happen, you could run this out all the way up until the 27 and or year 28, dependent. Doesn't matter. There's nothing that's going to stop you moving forward because like mathematics, you will find this bubble will burst. This is a pipe ready to pop. It's ready to go, and it's going to go test back up here on the 120 as a leg up, cup, handle, and gone. It's going to do the same thing. These are going to be, this will be the biggest flagpole out of the position you've ever seen. Very similar to these flagpoles here, and then this massive flagpole from 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago by the time we break out. So, can this all be accelerated? Yes. Look at this. This is your 3-year line that we held the stock. We bought, hit rock bottom, bounced out and broke out of that bullish pennant, which we did. And we now have this new one, this new bullish pennant. This is 16 months. 3 years versus 16 months. And we're on accelerated timeline now. So yeah, we're breaking out. There's some real pressure on Wall Street. Now, that pressure on Wall Street we've been talking about. I could show you 40 different stocks that went green today, that ran 10%, that everyone was talking about. You can do all of that, okay? I want to talk about silver and gold. We can talk about silver, gold. We can talk about Bitcoin, which we will. We can also talk about other Mag 7 stocks or big tech stocks. Everything's a hedge. The whole world's a hedge to GameStop. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but Dr. Michael Burry said all the quiet parts out loud. He basically wrote off GameStop's potential to have a squeeze. He wrote off everything in the world of why he's invested into GameStop, other than to say, I like Ryan Cohen and I like the cash. That's all he put. To write off every other excuse out loud, which he didn't have to do. He didn't have to discredit the ideas and or give his ideas on them, but he tried to create narratives that were negative towards them so that when it does run, I'm a believer in this, you don't have to be. But when the stock does run, The FBI is not going to go knocking on his door, because if they do, he's going to pull out, well, hold up, the jig is up. I wrote this. Come read this. This is what I wrote. This is what I believe. I just got lucky. We're just running. What can I do? It's bullshit. It's a CYA. It's a cover your ass. Good, cover it. Because the true manipulation of this stock and the hedge to this stock is being exploited right now. Don't worry. If you don't think so, I've been trying to rack my brain on this. So think about it like this, okay? Because I had so many people tell me, well, Ryan Cohen can't buy what he's claiming he can buy. And I would tell you, have you ever bought a home? Have you ever got a business loan? Do you know what happens when you go buy a home? This is how it happens when you buy a home. You get your money together. You say, I'm going to give you 20% for a conventional loan, or I'm a first-time home buyer. I'm going to give you 3.5% on FHA, or I'm going to give you $1 on a VA. I mean, you can do all these three choices. And then you buy the home, and you know what the bank does? The bank says, okay, well, can you afford the home? What's the purpose of the home? Is it a single family home? Are you renting it out? Do you have a job that you can pay this mortgage? They want to make sure you have a job. It's not like the .com days or the financial days, great financial crisis, where they were like ninja loans. So no income, no job. Here you go. No, now you got to have all these things put into place. The Frank Dodd Act, the Dodd Act, right? Everything got put into place. Okay. But I can afford it, so you're going to give it to me. Now watch this. I put down $17,500. I put down $17,500, 3.5% on a $500,000 home. You give me the home, it's worth $500,000. All I have to do is make a payment each month, but the home's mine. That payment is equity back to myself, by the way. In business, I can take a loan, a mighty big loan, because I could pay it back. Mind you, I have a company here that nets a profit of $600 million net. So I already have $10 billion cash in the bank. Now, aside from the $10 billion I have, I net $360 million just in interest. So couldn't I take a mighty big loan that I could pay back $360 million? I don't know. Could we ask AMC? AMC, how much does it cost to borrow money at this rate? Because the last I checked, I could borrow maybe 10 more billion, 20 more billion, 30 more billion, because I could pay it back. Maybe I have a business plan and I have a lawyer and I have a good credit rating and I don't have a loan facility and I don't have banks and I don't have covenants and I don't have anything restricting me from utilizing my cash as collateral for a loan so that I could buy something bigger than my pockets could afford today. So what could GameStop buy? Well, I have a belief. I have a belief in something that if they were to dress up a company like eBay, I already feel GameStop has a portion of PSA. That's a leveraged portion. They managed to ask for bonds for the equivalent of the value of PSA. At the same time, they put Nat Turner, the CEO and chairman of the board for PSA, on their board of directors. He hasn't bought one share of GameStop, yet they're doing a partnership and they're building a company within a company. So call me crazy, right? So maybe that's already going. Maybe that increases the value when they announce it. Hey, look at this partnership. Look at how much we are. We're going to merge and acquisite, whatever it may be. Does it cost you money to merge? Somebody help me out here. Does it cost money to merge? What I mean by that is, do I have to buy you to merge with you? Or could we just merge? Could we just agree? Or do I have to buy controlling stake to buy you out of the company, but yet we merge the companies and now we have equal value? Because you don't own the whole thing, insiders. You don't get to tell everyone what to do. Maybe we can control something and take it over and have direct influence on it, i.e. Geico, See's Candy, Apple, Coca-Cola. I mean, that's what Berkshire Hathaway did. But now we look at GameStop. What could they acquire? Controlling stakes into Amazon? No. I mean, how much do you think these insiders own? The ones that actually manage it. You can't buy people out. They'll give you the money. They'll give you the position. How big do we have to go before you understand what I'm telling you right now? You think things are off the table? Nothing's off the table. Everything. Everything. So I went out there. Oh, I know you can just merge, young man. I know how it works. But I went out there and I checked out a little company called eBay. And why do I like that Target? Why do I like Target? I don't know. Hey, Target, by the way. No. Why do I like eBay so much? Well, I like eBay because somebody was posting possible acquisitions for GameStop, mergers and acquisitions, and they didn't name. They named like Kohl's. I was like, where did that come from? Oh, I know where that came from. It's private equity. Bed Bath & Beyond and AMC. I said, why are you naming me three that have all had, Legion Partners, Ancura, Macellum, bullshit, private equity, Apollo? I read up on every private equity firm today. I went and read about Blackstone, Carlyle Group, Apollo, Cerberus, everybody. People are withdrawing money. Blue Owl, people are taking their money back. Pulling it out. And thank you guys for having Diamond Hands with me for 32 months. 32 months, Benjamin. Damn. And he's a Team 51 member. So, here's the thing. You don't want to buy Beckett. Beckett's trash. Let PSA buy it. It's still under you. We have this antitrust laws coming our way. Trust me. The lawsuits are coming, bros. Once you acquire something and you want to do, lawsuits are coming. So, I think, and this is my belief, and I'm not copying anyone because guess what? I'm doing the video first. These guys don't have a clue. I think Power Packs led GameStop to somewhere they didn't know they were going to go. I think Power Packs has a tie between cryptocurrency because of the digital tethers that happen when you're on a blockchain. A blockchain, by definition, gives you a digital tether that cannot be replicated or duplicated, meaning it's authentic, authenticity is tied to it, and this could also keep track of how transactions happen in real time. GameStop has this technology already. If you're not familiar, they invented the blockchain via layer 2 with a lot of different things back in the day in 2022. Don't worry about all that talk. We'll get to there later. I think GameStop partnering up with PSA and doing Power Packs under the same roof, using eBay on the back end, figured something out. They figured out how to do transactions without actually exchanging the product and shipping it and moving it via themselves. They can charge fees for it. It's like if you were to pay your bills, like how I pay my electric bill, right? I do it digitally. I call them. I say, hey, I'm going to pay you this. The bank takes the money out of my account, puts it in their account. But what really exchanged? Was cash exchanged or was it just a digital thing? Well, imagine doing that with actual physical products. Because I think GameStop is building a GameStop collector's exchange. And I think they're willing to do it with the backside of here comes eBay and the engine that is. Now, here's the thing about eBay. This is a possibility. I want to talk that out with you guys. But here's the problem that I have with eBay before we go over the article and everything. I went to their board of directors. And it's going to blow your mind that if these guys are asleep at the wheel, which they probably are, this gentleman here is from CDR. Clayton, AAR, and Rice, or whatever they are. You know, they're private equity firms. These are those law firms, everybody that gets involved. He's from The Gap. He's from David's Bridal. Those are all things that he bankrupt. If you guys don't know, that's what happens with all these companies. I go to the next person who I've seen before. Andre Brown, whoever, Andrea Brown. I don't know how to say her name. Who cares? American Airlines, one of the halted stocks during the .com thing for GameStop. KKR, she's a part of KKR's board. So you already know where this is going. Private equity. So if these guys are asleep at the wheel, like I'm telling you, this individual is a chief product officer at Robinhood. Logan Green, right here, Logan Green. This guy's been a part of Venture Partners, Autotech Ventures, board of directors at Yelp, Lyft, Zimride, Rent-A-Car. Nothing in here tells me that they know how to run an e-commerce online.com website. Citigroup, she's from Citigroup. Next person, Sam's Club, Walmart, Pepsi, Barnes & Nobles. Next person, right here, this female here, she's from Turo Inc. She's been with eBay for a minute. Good for her. So, obviously, she's probably like a good person. That's what you want. You want good people in there. Here's CarMax. Good job, CarMax. I hope you guys do well. Circuit City Stores. He also comes from Circuit City. Zane. What's up, Zane Rowe? Zane is from Apple Inc. He's from EMC. I don't know what EMC Corporation is. VMware. Where? Workday. So now I know who he is. Workday's a tough one. This gentleman here seems authentic coming from an engineering standpoint. He's been with them the whole way. Good job. And then the chair of risk committee. This individual is from Willington Management Company, LLC. Okay. So I looked over the whole board of directors. Okay. Their founder, everybody, this guy's gone. He's not here anymore. He retired in 2020. So this is the crew. Private equity. Through and through. Do I think they're asleep at the wheel? Possibly. Possibly. And maybe Ryan found a way to build it better. But we're going to go over what Ryan Cohen did in his interview tonight that was released. This was released, it says at 2:36 p.m. Eastern Standard. I don't know if it came out that early, but GameStop's Ryan Cohen eyes very big consumer mega deal that could increase company's value tenfold. Now, I don't think this has anything. Let me say it a different way. I don't think this is going to have any benefit to Bed Bath & Beyond investors of previous, the ones who lost all their money when they went bankrupt. Nope, there's nothing there. I don't think they're going to buy AMC and reinvent those movie theaters. So I think all of you guys need to get that shit out of your head. GameStop is a A-plus company. They're going to buy A-plus things, A-tier things. So they're not here to buy your debt, save your bags, none of the above. GameStop is a different cat. They're looking for the top-tier AAA blue chip company. GameStop hopes to pull off a very, very, very big acquisition of a larger consumer company. Its CEO, Ryan Cohen, told CNBC. Now, if you guys know anything about Ryan, he's never talked to the press. And I don't think he's ever going to talk to them again. Could they buy Best Buy? Ooh. I think it's very heavy. I think Best Buy is very heavy. Okay? Ryan Cohen won't trust Randall's on the internet. Like, what's not, might have to weigh so it's more legit. I don't know what you're talking about, Rob. Shop similar ones we can buy. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Rob, but keep talking. You're fine. Okay, if Ryan Cohen can grow GameStop to a $100 billion market cap, about 10 times its current value, he stands to reap a massive payday. Okay, let's make it about Ryan. Let's not pay attention to what it's going to do for everyone else in the world. GameStop wants to acquire a publicly traded consumer company that's far larger than the video game retailer, and a deal that could be transformational for the company, CEO Ryan Cohen told CNBC in an interview Friday. It's going to be really big. Really big. Really, really big. Very, very big. Guys, he said all of this, not me. Let me read it again. It's going to be really big. Really big. Very, very, very big. GameStop said of its size of the acquisition. It's transformational. Yeah, I don't even know if that's a real word for me. It's transformational. It's massive. Not just for GameStop, but ultimately within the capital markets. That means Wall Street is going to have to notice. This is something that really has never been done before within the history of capital markets. Isn't that phenomenal? What the hell would you equate it to? What type of value would you give it? I'm going to tell you guys something. If it's very, very big, and it's never been done before, and it has tremendous value, I want to explain this to you guys the best way I can. Okay. Cohen declined to name the company's target, saying he's only seeking a publicly traded consumer company that's undervalued, high quality, durable, scalable, with growth prospects, and has a sleepy management team behind the wheel. He claimed that if he implements if investment pans out, it has the potential to make GameStop worth several hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, let me explain something to you guys. Okay, I'm going to explain that math to you for a second in the terms of what you're invested in and what you currently own. GameStop is currently worth $10 billion. He said it's going to be worth several hundreds of billions of dollars. I want to explain this to you guys. That if it were a mistake and it fails, what does it fail to? 50 billion? 20 billion? 30 billion? Where's the fail safe? Right? When I go buy a card on powerpacks.com and I buy a card and I paid the $100, I'm guaranteed a $50 card. So I'm guaranteed at least a 50% return on my money. Not in excess, just I can only lose up to 50. Good. How much can GameStop lose here? Where is GameStop headed? If I'm shooting for the moon and if I miss, I still end up in the stars, right? So several hundreds of billions of dollars, I still just might make 10, 20, 30, 40 billion. That, you know how much money that is for you and me? Guys, if it hits $50 billion, just say 50 billion, you get 5x your money right now today. So go ahead, go do the math. Okay, 5x my money. Marantz, it's $300,000 for you. If I hit what Ryan Cohen says, it's going to be 30 times my money. It's 1.8 million. So 300,000 and 1.8 million. I wonder. I won't wonder for long. I won't wonder for long. Now, let's go back to it. If it works, it's genius. If it doesn't work, then it'll be totally, totally foolish. That's what the co-founder and CEO and former CEO of Chewy acknowledged. Guys, if it doesn't work, know this. I'll make a video and I'll say something like this. I'll say, well, guys, he's young enough. He can make an adjustment and we'll just get back on our feet. Or you can sell and leave. But I believe in Ryan. I believe in the team. I believe in the billions of dollars they're going to make. They're putting in millions right now. Like Ryan put in $21 million just last week. Michael Burry's in. Alan Addle's in. Larry Chang's in. These guys are not idiots. They're not betting against anyone. They're betting on themselves, right? The stock, the company, it's going to be great. What's the competition? Nobody knows. So they're not going up against anyone or anything. They're just betting on themselves. It's like a PR move. And what I mean by that is a personal record. That's it. In track, you know what they do in track? They go, all right, what's your time? I ran it in 17 seconds. Okay. You're going to run the 110 hurdles again. Hopefully you can beat 17 seconds. If I do, that's awesome. I win. So if Ryan can produce something from it, he can get some money back from it, he wins. He's not measuring up against Bezos or Musk or anyone else yet. He's measuring up against himself. That's what I love about this company. But I believe we have the components to make it work. I'm very confident in the ability to make the asset much, much, much more efficient. We've got the governance structure. We've got the capital. We have the operational expertise. Wow, that's a cocky move right there. He's telling the world. Nothing can stop them, guys. They're a group of 40-year-olds that nobody can stop. Because it can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Nobody can stop these guys. Who's going to stop them? Well, you think because you have outside influence? That doesn't matter anymore. They got too much money. They're too big. There comes a point where their patience outlasts your dollar flow. And they're proving it. While Cohen has transformed GameStop from a dying legacy retailer into a money-making business, it's unclear how the acquisition of the consumer space would increase its worth over $100 billion. It's a Herculean task for a business with $10.5 billion market cap. Well, let's talk about that $10.5 billion. That's the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bottom. GameStop's not been given true book value. They haven't been given true intrinsic value. They haven't been given true price discovery. They're so under fair value. They're just in, well, what do they call it? They say, I got to find undervalued investments. Well, that's what they are. They're extremely undervalued. You know why? Because investments on Wall Street are actually listed for what they will be worth, not what they're currently worth. We invest for the future. That's it. If we're always going to invest for whatever the 10Qs and 10Ks say, then we're just going to wait for those to drop, and then we get no speculative investments, right? Well, the speculative investment is one that's actually you can guess it, you can really plan for it, and a perfect plan is just half the mission. That's Zig Ziglar. He said that. So yes, I'm telling you, Ryan Cohen has the perfect plan. One investment banker in the consumer and retail space was skeptical Cohen could pull it off. Of course they're skeptical because one investment banker is an idiot. Two make two idiots. Three are the rest of this investment world that's been betting against GameStop for the last 5 years. I've been here for 5, and I'm telling you, they've all bet against it. They've all guessed against it. They've all said they'll never. I read the article. GameStop will never be gap positive. GameStop is only worth $3. Tony De Niro, you said it. Martin Scarelli, $6. You said it. Now look at me. It's worth what? Infinity? You better get it right. You guys better get this right. I've never seen it, the person said. Unless you're talking about radically transforming a business model or something, it doesn't happen in retail. Good. Something that's never happened is about to happen. Call it a miracle. Or just call it GameStop. Another agreed. It's easy to say something, the person said. It's a lot harder to do it. Funny you say that. Because you know, all you investment bros, I got something for you, Melties. Why is it that GameStop hasn't gone bankrupt? Why haven't they just crumbled to the ground? Oh, that's right, because Connect the Dots, the book said, Connect the Dots, go ahead and order one, you'll understand. You know what the book says? The book says that when you kick out private equity and you clean up your balance sheet and you actually pay off all your debt, now you're able to operate free and clear. Imagine how you would survive and thrive in your life if you were free and clear of debt. Well, that's what we are as an investment. Just shared the stream with my boy. I told him you're going off, but he's investing in AMC and thinks AMC is acquisition. I told him nope. Let me tell you something. If your boy thinks it's AMC, he shouldn't be your boy. He should be out of this world. I'm going to tell you guys something. All of you investors that think it's your investment, your AMC, guys, the fact that you're in AMC tells me everything you don't know. How do you not do homework? How do you not look at balance sheets and understand 10Ks and 10Qs? You're invested with a company that just lost over $500 million operationally. I'm not even talking about the interest. I would take away the interest. This company's still losing $200, $300, $400 million. Easy. So when you're looking at it losing that much money and the CEO has sold every share possible, that leveraged all your debt and equity, took your equity via APE, you don't even know who you're with. You don't know who you're in bed with when it comes to private equity and Adam Aaron. But if you don't know who it is, I'll let you know that he thinks you look like a 19-year-old Russian ballerina, that he once had you do unimaginable things to him. And I quote, but that's what you want to promote. And that's who you want to invest with. A sick son of a bitch like him. So don't talk to me if you're an AMC investor. You're not welcome here. None of you. What does the song say? Invest with AMC, you might get slapped in the face. I'm spitting, bro. I get heated about this shit because I'm telling you now, 5 years ago when I started YouTube, oh my God, I was the only man on the planet telling everyone, do not invest in AMC. I saved people thousands and thousands of dollars. The investors of this channel and the viewing party, all of us that watch, I saved people thousands, and I know it. Because they've told me so. They would have rode that shit to the ground with Trey Trades and Matthew Kors and whoever the hell told your friend to invest in AMC. God forgive them. It's gross. And for what? For a company that's leveraged and has retained losses for almost $9 billion, if not more. They have debt that they could never service. They will go bankrupt. It's an ongoing thing. Just leveraging and kicking, and you got guys who promote it, guys who celebrate it, guys who pump it, and they know who they are. Their name started with a T and with an O. Don't do it. Don't start with me. Now, Steve Cohen is a big owner of collectors, but his partner is on the board of GME for free, doesn't take a salary. Okay, now we're going to talk about Steve Cohen. Guys, I've already explained this to you guys, and I don't know who needs to do the homework on this. Steve Cohen is on the board of directors with Collectors Universe. He is not a decision maker. And when I tell you he's not a decision maker, you need to know who Nat Turner is. Nat Turner is the bread and butter. He is actually an angel investor in over 200 investments. Nat Turner is the president and chairman of the board. When the president and chairman of the board of that company is on our board of directors, I'll let you know it's the dog or is it the tail wagging the dog? You tell me. Because right now we're the tail. And we're wagging that dog just fine. Don't get lost into it. People need to hit the like button. Well, thank you. What's there not to like? Back to GameStop. Oh, my wife? Love this woman. Yes, my love. Yep, what you got going on? It's all good. I'm live on the show. I'm going to do my show, and I'll talk to you when we get here. I love you. It's okay. I'm live on the show, and I'll talk to you when you get here. I love you. Thank you. Bye. All right. Back to it. I've never seen it. That's what they said they see. GameStop's ambitions to balloon in size first comes to light in early January. The company unveiled a new all-or-nothing equity incentive program for Ryan Cohen that will only pay out if he reaches a market cap of $100 billion and sees $10 billion of cumulative earnings before interest, tax, and depreciation and amortization. So EBITDA, right? Okay. If GameStop's acquisition plans succeed and its market value hits $100 billion or more, Cohen gets his payday, but he said he hopes all shareholders do as well. Absolutely. Guys, let me tell you something. If it gets to $100 billion, that's 10x your money today. So go ahead and do that math for you. I'm at 600,000. I'll be okay with it. I'm not going to get mad at it. But, you guys figure it out. Since taking over GameStop CEO in September 2028, Cohen has dramatically cut costs, improved retailers' profitability, and grown his collectors' business, even as overall sales have sagged. Sure, they haven't sagged. That's so stupid. The overall sales for GameStop is not down, it's up. They get more dollars per store, more dollars per man hour. They've closed so many stores that it looks like the revenue's shrinking, but it's actually growing. People just don't know how to view it because this is what they do. Between GameStop's fiscal 2023 third quarter, when Cohen took over, to its fiscal year 2023 of 25, GameStop's gross margin has grown by 7%. 7 percentage points. They're saying that wrong, but it's fine. But they have grown. 7 percentage points. You would, in the world of finance, you would say 700 basis points, but I'll just leave it there. And net income has climbed to $77 million, up from a loss of $3 million. Ooh, that's not true. For the quarter? That's just for the quarter. That's just quarter to quarter. That's not the 2-year growth. That's just comparing quarter to quarter. If I were going to really compare it and say it out loud, I wouldn't say lost $3 million. I would say what they actually did during that quarter 3, versus what they do now. And I'm talking about trailing 12. That would be a better indicator for what it is, because they're really up like $421 million, if not more than that. In fiscal year 2024, the retailer posted consecutive annual net incomes following 5 straight years of losses. Yeah, because they're the champions. The company's success has attracted interest from Michael Burry, the investor who became famous for betting against the U.S. housing market ahead of the financial crisis, who recently disclosed he's been buying shares. Ryan is making lemonade out of lemons, Barry said on Monday's Substack post. He has a crappy business, and he is milking it best he can while taking advantage of the meme stock phenomenon to raise cash and wait for an opportunity to buy or make a big buy of a real cash-growing company, cash cow business. Okay, if you want to call it that. Over the last 2 years, GameStop has also amassed a more than $9 billion cash pile between cash on hand and marketable securities, money the company has been using to invest in Bitcoin. Okay. They invested $500 million. Calm your ass down, bro. Calm your cheeks. We're still way up there. By the way, $9.3 billion, $8.8 billion cash, $500 million in Bitcoin, but it's fine. When asked if GameStop will liquidate its Bitcoin holdings to help fund the acquisition plans, Cohen said he's not prepared to say, but called his new strategy way more compelling than Bitcoin, which I love, by the way. Way more compelling than Bitcoin. So I'm guessing, well, we know Bitcoin's not compelling because if you saw what they did today, they're like knocking Bitcoin down for this whole weekend so that GameStop has a lower value in Bitcoin on the sheet moving forward. But that's not going to matter because we're at quarter 4, where all our improvements, everything happens right now. So we're going to have a lot hit the books this quarter 4. It's going to look amazing. But here's what he's saying his new strategy is, which his new strategy just confirms what we've been saying for the last 5 years. For those of you who have not been with this channel for the last 5 years, don't worry. I've been here while you haven't. I've been making videos for a very long time to tell you this, and I've never switched up my tune, and I'm not going to now. It is very similar to Berkshire Hathaway. It becomes an umbrella company. It becomes the actual, like the name GameStop is synonymous with what? It might be meme stocks to you, but it's going to be a cult-like following to us. Berkshire Hathaway was a textile company, but you don't even know it. You think about them and you think Warren Buffett and you think of this investment crew. You're going to be thinking about GameStop. You're going to be thinking about me. You're going to be thinking about Ryan Cohen and yourself for the rest of your life because GameStop is going to be synonymous with what? With meme stocks? No. With profitability, with capital gains, with it all. It's going to be the new thing. Because I'll tell you what. GameStop has nothing to do with games. It has nothing to do with digital marketing and digital video games. None of that bullshit. That's what they want it to be. But soon you will see because like I told you in the past, and I said this in my very first video on YouTube, you're going to remember the day that Netflix used to deliver movies in the mail. You're going to remember the day that you had Amazon for books via mail. And you're going to remember that GameStop only sold video games. This is the truth of what's happening with GameStop. You need a company. That company needs to be profitable. And it's the engine that is. It is the parent company, the umbrella company for the rest of the conglomerate. And I'm going to tell you something. There's Meta, there's Johnson & Johnson, there's other holding companies. But for GameStop that's already operationally positive and profitable, they have all the cash in the world, they have valuation, they get into the S&P 500. And they're going to bring hell with them. And all you guys that are short in the stock and all you guys that don't believe in it and all you naysayers, all you meltdown, you know who you are. It's okay. You guys can all jump on the ship because when FOMO hits, it hit tonight. It hit tonight for the ones that read in the after hours are able to buy. But when it hits next week and it hit next month and it hit next quarter and it hit next year and it hits next catalyst, I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be licking my lips. And I'm going to tell you, I have enough of you grown-ass men that lick your fingers when you eat. But in this case, I might just start licking my hands because it's telling you here. And it's similar to Berkshire Hathaway, except what Berkshire did in decades, we're attempting to do in a much shorter time in terms of creating that much value. We can go in there and apply the Chewy and GameStop mindset of like brutal efficiency and increasing profitability of a company very, very quickly so we can capture a lot more value by focusing on the under-optimized asset. And then eventually we can move on to the next one. But you know it you'll know it when you see it happens. That's right. From one to the next, like locusts, we're going to keep moving. This is GameStop. It is the next best thing on the planet, and people have not given it value yet. But I will, and I'll continue to give it value. And until I drop, and until I die, what are we acquiring? We're acquiring the world. And I hope you guys are along for the ride with me. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a small pause for the cause, but I love you guys so much. GameStop, can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Let's go. Marantz Rantz, plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation. Whole lot of truth, no financial advice. If you guys didn't know, the PPI inflation was hotter than expected. The actual of 3% year over year versus the 2.8 expected, meaning producer price index was actually up. Companies are paying more for wholesale levels so prices can stay sticky, and that scares stock traders. Smaller businesses either have to raise prices, cut hours of staff, trickle on down effect to the customers. That means you're going to pay the difference. This has always been the question. Am I paying for the tariffs? Awesome. Remember that PPI really matters, okay? When I do consumer price index, that's going to be your own inflation on you. PPI is going to be the inflation that's built within the product itself. How it gets to you, the logistics of it, and then, of course, final delivery. So that's why it matters. PPI month over month jumped more than expected. So the month over month jumped even more than expected. So there is this small level of, you know what, am I really paying this inflation? Is it coming through? Because growth without inflation is not possible. You don't get to see growth and no inflation. So the fact that you're seeing inflation now with minimal growth is a very big problem. Core PPI was also hotter than expected. The actual versus expected, the example would be food and energy. It's actually up by 500 basis points and or 50 basis points. I apologize. 0.5, 0.5%. So even after removing food and energy, prices still rose a lot. So it's harder to brush off. I have a firm belief that unemployment is going to go through the roof. So if the government shutdown comes out right now, all of these data points that the Fed has to take into consideration will not be there. They're going to have to be flying blind And now we have Kevin Warsh, and he's going to come out and say what exactly? That, hey, I'm going to do whatever Trump tells me to do. You know, this guy's a Morgan Stanley guy. This guy's a private equity guy. He's a Wall Street guy. So he has the ties just like every other Fed president. So I don't know what's going to be the outcome of it all. I just know that you have to have a fall guy that's going to say, you know what? That last guy's the reason why this is happening. And I think that's what's going to happen here. The blame game's going to happen. Gold was swinging on the intraday 7.5% onto the downside, as well as silver on down at least 11%. But I saw the margins even wider than that. So people be aware that if God's money's coming down, silver and gold, then the U.S. dollar would be going up. And what? You're feeling safe about it? I'm not. I feel it's a temporary thing. I think the swing will come back into the fold. And why? Because Bitcoin didn't move a bit, bro. Copper rallied at 10% overnight and then reversed hard. So that was the first telltale sign. The next is the VIX. The VIX touched all the way up to 20. From 16 to 20, I have a problem right now with the VIX because this is going to be the rotation from the Mag 7, the NASDAQ 100, and then you're going to be rotating out to the what? The Russell 2000. So the broader market itself is actually going to be fed from the bottom up, okay, and selling off the top side. So your tech stock's going to sell off. You're going to see everybody start selling off. And why? Because there's a certain hedge they got to carry. I'll call it GameStop. You call it what you want. Big tech got a hit and dragged down in the sentiment today. You had Microsoft fall about 12% intraday. Biggest intraday drop since 2020, since that thing called the VID. I don't know if you were there, but it's BC, right before VID. And I'll just leave it there. Now, policy headlines, uncertainty. You're going to see that Donald Trump announced Kevin Warsh as the nominee for the Fed chair. Yeah, he's going to go through. They're going to hold him off, whatever the Senate wants to do. But the markets will try to price in what the Fed's leadership and what it means to the rates. So just watch that coming out. And then subprime auto loans, it was in a weak spot. I already have a problem with this because of Carvana, and I'll leave it where it's at. But 60-day delinquencies for the 2023 group of subprime loan autos are approaching 10%, and 24% groups is tracking similarly. So if we're at 10% for 2023 and 2024 loans, it's just a matter of time. The repo man will be knocking on the door. So all of those notes, thank you for the headline there. That was all from Carter's Corner Pocket, rocking it, okay? I think it's criminal. Me too. A lot of new friends in here. Hit the like button, guys. Enjoy. Yes, like, subscribe to the channel. Read the book. Buy the book. Figure it out. It's called Connect the Dots. It's going to tell you how GameStop is winning and why they're winning. This is the one place where I can find such confidence in our evaluation that I don't have to take the world so seriously. Thank you, Marantz. You are a champ. You are welcome. You brought back memories of my 20s with that song. Well, if you were in your 20s when that song came out, you're now in your 40s, because I know where I was. I was in South Korea when that CD came out. It was still this CD. It was prison songs. It was Toxicity. It was Chop Suey. It was all the above, bro. Bro, my homie, you know the one. He works with me. And he's a Top Caddy dealerships here. Times are getting tight as F in the car market. Well, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to go buy a new car? Guys, this is what blows my mind, okay? GameStop has the power to leverage people out of their position because cash is king. Cash is king. And right now, GameStop announced that they're going to have the biggest acquisition of your life. But the best thing that I saw was not the article from CNBC. It was right here. Nicole Robles. Nicole, how you doing, Nikki? Director of Communications at GameStop. And she put this little post 23 hours ago. And it said, buckle up. Now, I love that. I love that a lot because everybody on LinkedIn came in here and said, been invested since January 2021. I've been loving what you guys have done lately with the company. Thanks to the fact that I earned my money through management turnarounds, I just can't stop watching this masterclass. This is such a generational opportunity. Glad to be along for this ride. Thank you. Me too. I mean, this line is quotable gold. Any deal will be big. The 40-year-old billionaire said, it's ultimately either going to be genius or totally foolish. There are many people who don't know who Ryan is. Well, that's about to change. Yeah, Ryan Cohen's going to be shoved to the forefront. Because one, the idea is you got to, in the words of all the young kids out there, I don't know if you guys are hip to the young language like me. When they walk up, they say, actually, yeah, say less, bet, dead ass. What does that even mean? Oh my God. I just tell these kids, you know what? Ryan is everything you think he's not. And soon enough, they're going to know exactly who he is. Look at this, 6,400 cards. Where are the 40,000 cards at, guys? If you guys don't know, GameStop had 40,000 cards on this website, and they went somewhere. We don't know where they went. All I know is GameStop in the after hours, $24.84, up an additional $1 after we closed. Another 4% on top of a great week for GameStop. How could I ever be upset with the best investment this side of the Mississippi? He'll be back, Burton. He'll be back. Yo, Darth, let Jacinto back in the Discord on Monday, please. Oh, he's on a 7-day hiatus. A lot of you guys know how this works. Our Discord, which is completely free and it always will be, in the description of the video, is the best Discord in America for GameStop. Our Discord is 1,800 active members. More than 200 at a time are online, however it may be. It's a phenomenal place to be where we exchange ideas, and it's a great echo chamber for GameStop. If you ever need a safe space, if you ever need a place to come out here and talk out your ideas with GameStop, this just might be it. Okay? So I just want you to know that. Now, listen, I can't be more bullish than I am tonight. I'm pretty pumped. I got a lot of life to live. I got a lot of World of Warcraft to play. I got grass to cut. And I got... Never mind. I can't be rhyming like that, bro. I might just be homeless if I start saying all this. What I will tell you is this. All you haters out there, remember me. Remember GameStop. Remember I told you so. GameStop is going to make a very, 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 very big acquisition. GameStop is going to pair up. They're going to merge. They're going to exploit. They're going to become victorious. You're going to get rich, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. I'll see you around, millionaires. Literally.
Never